I mean, technically, we're all of those things, too.
That's right. We are Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz. I'm Bianchi, Mike Bianchi, sports columnist of the Orlando Sentinel. He is Kravitz, Brandon Kravitz, the hardest working man in sports media. The man across the glass is the prodigy of production, primetime Jaden Grimes. We are coming to you live from Orlando, Jacksonville, Tallahassee, everywhere in the state of Florida on the iHeartRadio app. So we want you to hit us up. It's a free-for-all Friday. It's a Yingling football Friday. We have so much football to talk about today. We want to hear from you. You can enter that rage cage. Oh, that's right. Enter that rage cage, rant and rave about anything you want on a free-for-all Friday. Ask us any question you want. Any topic goes on a free-for-all Friday. You can also hit us up on the Mills Air text line. That's 508-57. Got our picks later. By the way, Kravitz, how'd I do with my picks last week?
Pretty much the same you do every week. 5-1. You are unstoppable. If you all out there are not just blindly betting Bianchi's picks, you're doing yourself a huge financial disservice.
Did I tell you last night to take the Falcons on the money line?
You did say take them on the money line. I did wind up betting them plus the 5.5, but it was a wash because I had the Bucs team total under 25.5. So we wound up making nothing. The only thing that I profited off of last night, you really want to throw up in your mouth?
What?
I had the Pelicans plus 4.5 against the Blazers.
1-888 play wise, I think is the.
I did play wise. I won.
Wow. All right, let's get to some highlights and headlines. Well, the sordid details of former Michigan coach Sharon Moore came out today. He was arraigned just a couple hours ago, 2 days after being fired for having an illicit affair with a female Michigan staff member. He now faces 3 criminal charges. Prosecutors say Moore forced his way into the apartment of the former staff member with whom he'd had a long-term affair. Moore broke into her apartment and allegedly grabbed kitchen knives and scissors and threatened to kill himself, saying, quote, "I'm going to kill myself. My blood is on your hands. You ruined my life," end quote. It seems she had ended the relationship days earlier and reported him to the university after he wouldn't stop badgering her with calls and texts. He's charged with third-degree home invasion, stalking, breaking and entering. And, man, you want to talk about self-inflicted wounds. My God.
Guy just torpedoed his entire life and then probably could have actually gotten away with it.
If he hadn't badgered her with the text. Yeah,
just let it go.
Right.
You already committed infidelity and got away with it, I guess.
Right.
And then, when you obsess over somebody bruising your ego, then this is the sort of fallout that comes with it.
Yeah.
It's a sad story, but this is all his fault.
Yeah. Do not let your you-know-what rule your life, okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, very much so.
All right.
Well said.
The Tampa
quote of the day.
That's a bar. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers were wearing their old school creamsicle uniforms last night, and appropriately, they went back in time and transformed themselves into the Tampa Bay Yucks. Kirk Cousins threw 3 touchdown passes to Kyle Pitts, and Zane Gonzalez kicked a 43-yard field goal as time expired to complete the Atlanta Falcons' rally for a 29-28 victory over the reeling Bucs last night. Here's the highlight.
Here's Cousins from the pocket, slides it to Pitts. What does he do against Tampa? He scores a touchdown. Wide open Kyle Pitts on a crossing route arch. Here's Cousins looking, going to sail it to the end zone. Pitts is there. It's an Atlanta touchdown. Do I need to tell you one more time? Kyle Pitts crushes Tampa. He's wide to the right with Pitts and Sills over there. Robinson and Mooney here to the near side. Snap to Cousins. Tampa brings the pressure. They're throwing for the end zone. It's Pitts. Did he hold on through? Give me a signal, fellas. Touchdown, Atlanta. They have to play Mayfield to throw from the pocket. Downfield, it's picked. D. Alford came up with the interception. Mayfield dice rolled one. He was trying to go back to Evans. And D. Alford has got his second interception of the year and the third of his career. Snap spot, kick by Gonzalez. It is good. Fly home safely. Atlanta wins. This is the end of the game. 29-28.
Oh, my God. Kirk Cousins, what do you got to say?
You like that? You like that?
He said it again. That was new audio.
Maybe that was an old clip. I don't know. All right, but wow. Kyle freaking Pitts. Are you kidding me? The former Gator has been a disappointment since he got into the league. 11 catches, 166 yards. The first tight end with 150 yards receiving and 3 TDs since Hall of Famer Shannon Sharp in 1996. The Falcons overcame a franchise record 19 penalties. They overcame a 28-14 fourth quarter deficit. Baker Mayfield threw that crucial interception to help the rally, and then on the final drive, the Falcons had a 3rd and 28. Cousins completes a pass for 14 yards to who else? Kyle Pitts. And then he completes a 20-yard pass on 4th and 14 to set up the field goal. What in the hell was going on with the Buccaneers defense last night?
Nothing good. They were Swiss cheese the whole night, and then when Baker started giving the ball to Atlanta, then they put themselves in a bit of a bind with all of that. I, for one, never lost faith in Kyle Pitts. I've always thought this guy could be
Stop it. You made fun of me you took a picture of me when I drafted him in the fantasy draft this year.
Yeah, and Brendan, who drafted him in my league, and I think he's in the playoffs, and I'm not. So hopefully he was starting Kyle Pitts last night. That's the problem, is I think most people that had Pitts in fantasy probably had him on their bench or didn't make the playoffs to begin with because you drafted Kyle Pitts.
Right.
But that was, all joking aside, like that's what we thought he was going to be coming out of Florida, this hybrid wide receiver tight end that was too big for linebackers and or too fast for linebackers, too big for corners and that sort of thing. And that's what he was last night. So good for him. The Buccaneers, the story's obviously much more about them because the Falcons were just playing spoiler last night. The Bucs have now lost 5 of their last 6, and they can't seem to marry good offensive performances like last night and good defensive performances like what they've had recently. The team is in a state of imbalance right now, and they're not clutch like they were at the beginning of the year. I think it goes to show how fluky some of that stuff can be.
Todd Bowles, after the game last night, he dropped 7 F-bombs when calling out his team after the game. Listen.
Don't make excuses. You got to care enough where the hurts. You got to care enough where the hurts. It got to mean something to you. It's more than a job. It's your livelihood. How well do you know your job? How well can you do your job? Well, you can't coach that. It was inexcusable, and there's no answer for it. There's no excuse for it. That's what you tell them in the locker room.
Inexcusable. This is your livelihood. Could you imagine, by the way, an NBA coach calling out his team like that? Would never happen. Never happen. No. Look in the effing mirror. No. Wouldn't happen. I love that Todd Bowles called, huh?
I disagree with that. I think it does happen from time to time.
Publicly?
Yeah, I don't think it works. Doug Christie did it, the Sacramento Kings head coach.
He did?
This season.
Oh, okay.
And then they went on like a 5-game losing streak. It doesn't work. It might work in the NFL. Definitely doesn't work in the NBA. Few and far between. Steve Clifford used to do that when he was coaching the Magic. He would go in on his team all the time. But yeah, it's definitely a different mentality. He's not wrong, though. This is the problem. The Jags have dealt with the same issues when they have leads. They are not a good enough running team to sustain those leads. So when the defense slips up, it's almost like their lead is too big with too much time left on the clock. Look at last night. 88 yards rushing, 4 yards per carry for a Bucs team that was up by 14 late in the game. The interception that Baker Mayfield threw, they're up by 8. There's 8 minutes left. On second down, they're throwing from the shotgun. You have the lead. Run the ball. And they don't commit to it. They either don't commit to it or just can't do it, whichever one it is. If you can't run the ball with leads, it's hard to win in the NFL consistently.
Speaking of my Jaguars, we'll talk about them a lot later. But, yeah, they play the Jets this weekend. Do you see who the Jets are starting? Rookie quarterback Brady Cook starting for the Jets. Gets his first start. Tyrod Taylor's hurt.
He went to Missouri, I think.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly.
Yeah. First start. I think the Jags are favored by, 14 or 15 maybe?
13.
It might be more now that Brady cooks.
It's not.
It's not?
It's not.
Wow. Okay.
Must be some faith in Brady Cook's abilities.
I don't know. All right, those are your highlights and headlines.
Up next, we've got your motivational, inspirational quote of the day. It's a short one, but it's a good one, so you don't want to miss that. Plus, it's Free for All Friday, which means you can ask us anything you want. Mills Air text line is how you can reach us at 50857 or on the iHeartRadio Talkback. We've got Cure Bowl tickets up for grabs, and to win those, all you have to do is ask us a question. Anything you want to know. We're back with those after this.
It's a Yingling Football Friday on Game On. You know what else you like? The Red Tag event at Don Mealy Chevrolet in Claremont. For 50 years since Don moved his family from Maryland, they've been your truck headquarters. Now his son Jay runs the dealership and even gives customers his own personal email address. That's what I call a family-run business. Get 0% APR for 36 months on a new 2026 Silverado during the Red Tag event, plus over $13,000 in savings with customer cash, bonus cash, trade assistance, and a huge Don Mealy discount. Or get 0% APR for 36 months on any brand new Equinox or Trailblazer. When the red tags are gone, so are the deals. Don Mealy Chevrolet. Chevy. Together, let's drive.
I've been telling you guys about Kevin Krager with LPT Realty, one of the top 25 producing agents in Central Florida. This guy is money, and he joins me now to talk about the latest in real estate. How is the market doing right now, and how can buyers take advantage?
The market is doing well. It's not crazy like it was a few years ago, but right now it is prime to buy real estate. Not so great for sellers, but it's prime to buy real estate. And one of the big things that buyers are getting now is instead of fighting over the cost of the home, we're fighting over concessions from sellers to buy down the rate, make repairs, cover your down payment. I think that the big thing right now is finding an agent that can negotiate, understands the market, really, really fights as much money they can in your pocket.
And Kevin is that agent. When it comes to real estate, experience matters. Trust Kevin Krager to move you right along. Search his name on Facebook or call him today, 407-702-4635.
On Florida's Turnpike, that accident northbound before US 27, that's been cleared up. You won't be running into any trouble there. Northbound on the Turnpike, it's stop and go before US 27 on I-4 westbound. There's a crash off to the shoulder before Sand Lake Road getting cleared up. Move over and slow down. If you see police activity or emergency crews on the roadways there. And if you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Staples. Have an easy holiday only at Staples. Save on custom cards and custom wrapping paper, plus shipping supplies and services to get your packages delivered safely. Don't miss out on select laptops up to 45% off. Visit staples.com for details. Staples, that was easy.
The holidays are about family
and tradition and being with the ones you love.
From our family to yours, happy holidays. Farrah and Farrah.
Here for you, here for good.
Orlando.
If you want your windows there in weeks, pick up the phone and just text Reese.
Win $25,000 in new impact windows from Reese Windows. Pick up your phone and text the word WOW right now to 20129. That's WOW to 20129.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Honey, that flu keeping you up? Did you take NyQuil Intense Flu?
Nah, I got this. Okay, I don't got this.
Yeah, you need NyQuil Intense Flu.
Undo your flu with NyQuil Intense Flu. NyQuil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms so you can sleep.
You do got this.
NyQuil Intense Flu. The nighttime sniffling, aching fever. Best sleep with the flu medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Sean Kelly, voice of the Gators, to tell you this Christmas at International Diamond Center, everything's possible, everything's affordable. Come celebrate the season with our most popular offer ever. 5 years, 0 interest financing, or up to 40% off. It's your decision. You can get instant savings of 10, 20, 30, up to 40%. Or you can finance that gift and enjoy a super low payment with 0 interest. This year, our showcases are bursting with can't-miss holiday favorites, sparkling diamond earrings, stunning pendants, brilliant bracelets, and designer rings. From timeless classics to today's most in-demand looks. Also, check out our expanded selection of precious colored gemstone jewelry, as well as our unique Italian-crafted gold jewelry. So come see us at IDC. Let our friendly, non-commissioned experts help you pick the perfect wow gift this holiday. Store hours, locations, and holiday finance details at shopidc.com.
Hey, nice job, Pete. I like those clean lines. Fellas, do we have anyone that can get to Greenport today?
At Corey's Landscaping, the staffing plan is in the weeds.
Anthony, we need that leaf blower over here. 3 more new customer requests just came in. Who wants to work some overtime?
He needs to dig up quality landscapers and fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
We are Orlando's sports leader, broadcasting live from the FM 96.9 The Game studio. Brought to you by the Nickley Group, Orlando's home team. Doing real estate differently. TheNickleyGroup.com. The free iHeartRadio app is your home for the holidays.
It's the most wonderful time.
Open the app and search Holiday and find Magic 107.7, Orlando's Christmas station.
I wish you a Merry Christmas.
Plus stations playing specialized holiday music, Christmas classics, Christmas jazz, country, plus tons of playlists, even podcasts.
Last Christmas.
Our gift to you, the perfect holiday soundtrack.
Becklers and the Lloyd cars. That was the opportunity that he had that he failed at. And we also have to think about this young lady who was a subordinate and what these accusations or what these actions will do to her for the rest of her life. And so now if you're Sharon Moore, who was the first African-American head coach at the University of Michigan, there's also a community of coaches that would love to follow in your footsteps that will be partly judged because of your actions. He does have to own that. He does have to, at some point, acknowledge that. He has to be held partly judged because of your actions. He partly judged because coaches that University of Michigan, there's also a community of coaches that would love to follow in your footsteps that will be partly judged because of your actions. He does have to own that. He does have to, at some point, acknowledge that. He has to be held accountable for that, whether these things are true and someone was after him or not. And so if you're Michigan, you're truly coming from 2 head coaches in a row in Jim Harbaugh and also
I didn't realize Santa was so hardcore. This guy's ready to roll. Get me my sleigh, honey. I'm going to sling these presents, slam these cookies. Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz rolls right along. AM 930 in Jacksonville, FM 96.5 The Spear in Tallahassee, and right here in Orlando, Florida at FM 96.9 The Game, streaming everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. It is time now to motivate and inspirate,
asphyxiate, motivate.
This is Jamal Mosley, head coach of the Orlando Magic, and this is your daily coach quote of the day.
Our daily source of inspiration and motivation, and today's is about the difficulty of starting healthy habits. A perfect quote here as we inch towards those New Year's resolutions, those pesky resolutions, Mike. Mike, let me ask you a question. This is a really short quote, but it's a very impactful one. What is the most common resolution of all resolutions?
Lose weight.
Lose weight, work out, go to the gym, get fit.
Right.
Yeah, definitely that. So here's the quote of the day. The heaviest weight at the gym is the front door.
The heaviest weight at the gym is the front door. That means actually going to the gym.
The hardest part of going to the gym is going to the gym.
Yeah.
Everything else after that is cake.
Yeah.
The heaviest weight at the gym is the front door. It's the biggest problem that most people have when it comes to any regimen, when it comes to exercise, is just doing it, just going. Once you're there, you're there. That part's easy. And if the workout's too strenuous, it's not like you don't have to get a trainer. You just go do it yourself and just, do your own thing. Being there is, you're already in a pretty low percentile just by showing up.
Right.
Then working out and actually putting in a little bit of effort, you continue to be part of a smaller and smaller community. The hardest part is just going there and opening the door.
Yeah, I always say this quote. I've said it on this show before. You probably heard me say it 3 times. If you think you're just going through the motions, go through the motions.
Yeah, better than not motioning. I mean, think about it like being on a kayak. You're stuck out in the middle of the ocean. You've got 2 options. You can either paddle or you can just sit there. And you're definitely not going to get where you want to go by just sitting there. So grab that paddle. I'm not saying you have to go to the gym, but it is important to have some level of fitness. I think we can overemphasize that in our culture of like, gotta go to the gym. But I do think it's imperative that you exercise for not only for your physical health, but your mental health. It puts you in a better mood, makes you a more productive person. Get outside, even if you just walk around your neighborhood.
Yeah,
that's not bad.
Yeah, you want to. And plus, what was the quote? The heaviest weight at the gym is the front door.
Yeah.
You just want to get into the habit. There's a quote about habits, like your habits become your character.
Yeah, I think that was one of the daily quotes like a week ago.
Yeah.
It was like, it was a whole long thing.
Yeah.
But if you're looking for one of those books to kind of get you rolling for the year, the guy who I got that quote from wrote a book called Atomic Habits. It's one of the best-selling books ever. It's phenomenal. It will give you the mental framework to get you where you want to be and have you obsessing over the systems and the process that gets you to your goal rather than just obsessing over the goal. And I think that is, and this is based off of me taking in what this individual wrote about, not my own wisdom, but people obsess over the goals that they set for themselves. What they don't obsess over is what actually gets you to that point. And that's the only thing that you can control. Wanting to make a certain amount of money, if that's your goal, I want to earn $100,000 this year. You're really going to be frustrated if that's all you focus on, because then you're probably not doing the things you need to do in order to get to that point.
Right.
So obsessing over the systems that get you to your goal is how you actually accomplish anything. Text in 50857. Hit us up. Anything you want to know, you can get us going. Somebody here said, don't you find Todd Bowles' approach eerily similar to Billy Napier refusing to give up play calling on offense?
That's not a very good question.
Thank you. Is that like, are they saying like reverse side of the ball that Todd Bowles controls the defense?
I don't know about that. And I've realized once you lose a few games in a row, the hot seat talk starts, and it's already started with Todd Bowles as he's taking the Bucks as far as they can go, blah, 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 blah. But come on, Todd Bowles is a good defensive coordinator. He's a good defensive coordinator.
He is known as one of the best in the NFL, so that's probably not.
Unless he's playing Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, Cousins seems to have his number. It's because Cousins has those notebooks that he saves over the years. Somebody said here the bad Falcons gift wrapped a win to the Bucks last night, 19 penalties and 125 free yards, and it's not on Baker Mayfield. Well, Baker Mayfield did throw a crucial pick at the end of the game, just directly to a Falcons player.
That's the most penalties, by the way, a team has ever had in a victory.
Yeah, so there's a nice little breakdown of everything that the Falcons did wrong last night and yet still won the game. 19 penalties, 125 yards. They were losing 28-14 in the fourth quarter, scored 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter, but failed both 2-point conversions, leaving them down 28-26. Faced a 3rd and 28 with the game on the line, converted. Faced a 4th and 14 with the game on the line and converted, and they still beat the Bucks 29-28. Well, they didn't convert the 3rd down, but they converted the 4th.
They
down.
converted. They got 14 yards on 3rd down, and then converted the 4th.
Yeah. To overcome all of that and win a game is a total meltdown of your opponent, and for a team that needs to win these games, it's a bad look for the Bucks for sure.
And their best receiver was out last night.
Well, no, he wasn't. It was Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts played. I don't know what you're talking about. Up next, it's an early edition of Mic'd Up, here from the coaches and players making the headlines. We're back with those right after this.
It's a Yingling Football Friday on Game On.
Scanning the Hard Rock Bet app as we speak. And oh, by the way, Merry Bet'smas to all. Good news for my fellow sports fanatics. Everyone's on the nice list over on Hard Rock Bet. Sign up, place a $5 wager. If it wins, you score $150 in bonus bets on top of your winnings, a winning bet and a boosted bankroll. Now that is a gift worth unwrapping. Now, Mike, I know you're probably going to judge me again. I got the Pacers +7 tonight against the Philadelphia 76ers. I've got the under and the Bulls and the Hornets. We're going all in on a Friday night in the NBA. Now, if college football is more your thing, we can look ahead to the college football playoff over on Hard Rock as well. It took Texas Tech to win the college football playoff at +850. Miami 20-1 to go all the way. All they got to do is get by Texas A&M, and then boom, they're well on their way. Head to Hard Rock Bet and roll with us. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, please call 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
Orlando, are you ready to rock it? My favorite beach getaway, Hard Rock Hotel Daytona Beach, is calling your name. Not even an hour's drive from downtown Orlando. You'll find modern luxury, legendary Hard Rock vibes, and that endless Florida sunshine. Even in the middle of winter, lounge by the oceanfront pool, grab a bite at their world-famous restaurant, or unwind at the spa. And when the sun sets, enjoy live music under the stars at their beachside band shell. For reservations, go to hardrockhotels.com/Daytona Beach.
With T-Mobile, we don't miss out on any family business. Hola, mija, ¿cómo quedó el mole? It turned out great.
This holiday, switch to T-Mobile and stay connected with los tuyos. Get 4 Samsung Galaxy S25 phones with no trade-in needed, plus 4 lines for just $25 per line. Visit a store at T-Mobile.com or call 1-800-T-Mobile. With 24 monthly bill credits and 4 eligible port-ins on essentials. For well-qualified customers with auto-pay plus taxes, fees, and $35 device connection charge. Credits and imbalance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement 128 gigabytes, $800 required. Not for extended international use. You must reside in the U.S. and primary usage must occur on our network. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Join us daily on 96.9 The Game for your Embers-only Cigar of the Week. Brought to you by Corona Cigar Company. Luxury cigar lifestyle, fine spirits, and relaxation await at your nearest Corona Cigar. Dr. Phillips, downtown, Heathrow, or online at coronacigar.com.
How do we respond to lowball offers from insurance companies?
With relentless litigation. For the justice you're entitled to after an accident, you know who to call.
Make it a Farrah fight. Fair and Farrah.
Orlando.
Game day isn't complete without repping your team.
Whether you're in the stands, at home, or tailgating with friends, NFLShop.com has the gear every fan needs. Jerseys, hats, hoodies, and sideline styles straight from the pros to you. Fresh arrivals drop all season long, so you'll always stay game day ready. Fan like a pro and shop now at NFLShop.com.
Here's something most of us don't want to think about, but probably should. Clay Travis and Buck Sexton here for our friend Mike Lester and the team at Talon Wealth Management.
That thing we don't want to talk about is a will. If you don't have one, Mike.
So Sharon Moore, that is, or what these actions will do to her for the rest of her life. And so now if you're Sharon Moore, who was the first African-American head coach at the University of Michigan, there's also a community at the University. I think from the was the first African-American a subordinate, and what these accusations or what these actions will do to her for the rest of her life. And so now if you're Sharon Moore, who was the first African-American head coach at the University of Michigan, there's also a community of coaches that would love to follow in your footsteps that will be partly judged because of your actions. He does have to own that. He does have to, at some point, acknowledge that. He has to be held accountable for that, whether these things are true and someone was after him or not. And so if you're Michigan, you're truly coming from two head coaches in a row, in Jim Harbaugh and also Sharon Moore, that has let the university down in some way. It is not the level of excellence that we expect from that position that has a responsibility. You know, in Romans 3:23, right, it says, all have fallen short because of sin and fallen short. He does have to acknowledge that. He has to be held accountable for that, whether these things are true and someone was after him or what these actions will do. And so now if you're Sharon Moore, who was the first African-American head coach at the University of Michigan, there's also a community of coaches that would love to follow in your footsteps that will be partly judged because of your actions. He does have to own that. He does have to acknowledge that. He has to be held. And so now if you're Sharon Moore, who that would love to follow in your footsteps that will be partly judged because of your actions, he does have to own that. He does have to acknowledge that. He has to. He does have to acknowledge that. He does have to acknowledge that. He has to own that. He does have to acknowledge that. He has to be held accountable for that, whether these own that. He does have to own that. Accountable for that, whether these acknowledge that. He has to be held accountable for that. Own that. He does have that. He has to be held your actions. He does have to own that. To own that. That he has to be held. Have to own that. He has to be held accountable for that, whether these things are true and someone was after him or not. And so if you're Michigan, you're truly coming from two head coaches. Have to own that. He has to be held accountable for that, whether these things are true and someone was after him or not. And so if you're Michigan,
want to get your reaction.
Our guys, they.
And so now, if
and we want to.
I wasn't really hanging on.
Felt like you missed something this morning?
It's becoming a disgusting habit at this point.
You did. You can listen while you get ready in the morning.
Wake up with us.
Just tell Alexa to play 96.9 The Game. Coaches, players, GMs, everyone's got an opinion these days. Let's hear from the biggest names in the game. It's time for Mic'd Up.
Mic'd Up brought to you by Adventure Boat Share. You want a great gift for the entire family this holiday season? How about a membership to Adventure Boat Share? Unlimited, hassle-free boating without having to own a boat. Show up at the docks, the boat's waiting for you. You go boating, come back, drop it off. Don't have to clean it. No muss, no fuss. Check them out, adventureboatshare.com. You will not regret it. All right. Let's start mic'd up with, where do we want to start mic'd up? Let's start with, there's a clip that Iowa State AD Jamie Pollard. Iowa State just lost their coach, Matt Campbell, to Penn State. Matt Campbell, very respected coach at Iowa State. Jamie Pollard loved Matt Campbell. In fact, broke down in tears when Matt Campbell left. But this isn't about Matt Campbell, all right? This is Jamie Pollard, the Iowa State AD, talking about these crazy coaching contracts out there today.
And we want to blame the transfer portal and the time and the window. And, that's a symptom. It's a symptom of the problem. The problem goes back a long ways. And what the problem is, contracts are meaningless, right? Contracts are meaningless. The only thing a coach's contract does is spells out what you have to pay them if they fail. All the other pages that say all the wonderful things we're going to pay them if they're successful only matters if somebody else doesn't want to pay them more. That does not happen in the NFL. It doesn't happen in the NBA. It doesn't happen in Major League Baseball. Lane Kiffin shouldn't have been able to do what he does. Okay. The guy at Indiana, he's done an awesome job. But when Indiana renegotiated the contract last year in February, 8 years, $8 million a year, when Penn State came open, Indiana should have just said, you signed a contract for 8 years. Either take it or sit out and don't be paid. That's what happens in Major League Sports. No coach in the NFL is ever going to leave their team in the middle of the playoffs and then go to another. Until we get the congressional whatever, I'm not a lawyer, antitrust that the Major League Sports have, we'll never bring that back in.
Wow.
Why not? Why not?
That's so great.
That's a great clip.
That's
and it makes a lot of sense. But why can't the ADs bring it? Why do you have to sign these coaches and these contracts? Go find somebody else. I always go back to Billy Napier. Scott Strickland gave Billy Napier a 7-year, $7 million a year contract. He was coming from Louisiana. He could have given him a 4-year, $3 million contract. Why did he give him that? Huh? ADs have no self-control. It's ego is what it is.
And keeping up with the Joneses.
Ego.
And if you have those guardrails in place, then keeping up with the Joneses has rules to it.
Right.
But he brings up a phenomenal point. If a player, let's go to a player in the NBA, a starting job. You have a 7-year contract. You make $20 million a year, and you're a shooting guard. And a shooting guard role opens up in Milwaukee, but you're in Boston. You don't just get to go, all right, I'm out. I'm going to take the job in Milwaukee now. They're going to pay me more.
Right.
It doesn't work like that. You have to either get traded or you have to wait until your contract expires. Why doesn't it work like that at every level?
Or you pout and fake an injury.
The NBA was a bad example. I realized that when I started it, and I was hoping you were going to throw that back in my face. But yes, I don't want to play anymore. Send me there.
Okay. All right.
What do we get back? Nothing.
Speaking of the NBA, here's Coach Jamal Mosley of the Magic talking about playing in the NBA Cup semifinals Saturday out in Vegas.
Our guys, they take a ton of pride in that. We've talked about it at practice. We've talked about it post-game. They've talked about it amongst each other. Just the resiliency, the focus level that they have in these Cup games. understanding and knowing the stakes at hand and the things that the result on the back end of it, what you get, the reward from it. And so I think our guys are really taking a lot of pride in that.
Forget about winning the cup. All right. That would be fun if the Magic won the cup. Just the fact that they're in a mini type playoff series early in the season. I think that's helpful. I think that's helpful down the line.
Big time helpful. Just look at some of the teams that have benefited from that the last 2 seasons. The Indiana Pacers, that was their coming out party.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the year before they made it to the finals. But you can't convince me that their run to the final of the NBA Cup the year before they went to the NBA Finals, that one had nothing to do with the other. They learned how to win. They learned how to win in high-pressure situations. Tyrese Halliburton became a star on the Cup courts. And then the very next year, they took it to another level. Oklahoma City, they'd been a really good team for the last few seasons. They hadn't won anything last year up until they won what? The Cup. And then they bulldozed the NBA after that. I feel like that gave them the confidence that, in these must-win, do-or-die situations, we can win these games. They get to the playoffs, and where they had hit a wall in the past, they didn't last year, and they won the championship. I think the Cup has that sort of an impact on these teams.
Here's ESPN analyst Ryan Clark talking about shamed former Michigan football coach Sherrone Moore.
And so now if you're Sherrone Moore, who was the first African-American head coach at the University of Michigan, there's also a community of coaches that would love to follow in your footsteps that will be partly judged because of your actions. He does have to own that. He has to be held accountable for that, whether these things are true and someone was after him or not.
It's unfortunate that what he is saying is true, but it is. And I know that there's been some pushback on that online because this shouldn't be about race. And he's probably, anybody who says that is right. It shouldn't be. But here's the thing I will guarantee you, and it's not fair, but I guarantee it. Michigan's next head coach will not be black.
Yeah, probably, but I don't. Any college coach opening, you could probably say that the next he's probably not going to be black because there's not that many black coaches.
But the reason why, part of the reason why I say that is a lot of these. It happens in the NFL. It happens in college football. These opportunities for black coaches are so rare, unfortunately. And then when it flops, even with not something as serious as this, just simply losing games, all of these owners, administrators, they all do the same thing. They go right back to what they're comfortable with. And what are they comfortable with? Old white dudes.
Yeah, and here's the other thing.
Exactly what's going to happen.
And here's the other thing, too. There's never been a black head coach who won a national championship, all right? Somebody has to knock that door down, just like Tony Dungy in the NFL. He knocked that door down, and Tony Dungy opened the door for a lot of other black head coaches in the NFL. And I think that's sort of what Ryan Clark's talking about, all right? Sherrone Moore had a chance at a major program to be a guy who could break down barriers, and instead he went the other way.
Yeah.
He put up barriers.
He did, and it shouldn't be viewed like that because he's an individual that made individually bad decisions. He should not carry the weight of representing a race. But I think that's a really Pollyannish way to look at it. I don't think it's realistic, and that is, it can be one part true and one part sad that it's true, and I think that's the case here.
Right. All right, finally, Phillip Rivers talking about coming out of retirement at age 44 to perhaps be the quarterback of the Indianapolis Colts this weekend.
I wasn't really hanging on any hope of playing again. I'd kind of thought that ship had sailed, but something about it excited me, and it's kind of one of those deals. The door opens, and you can either walk through it and find out if you can do it, or run from it.
I love it. I love the story. I want to see it. I'm intrigued or fatigued. I'm probably as intrigued to watch Phillip Rivers this weekend as anything else in the NFL.
I guess. I cannot wrap my head around this being the best available option.
Maybe it's
Isn't
not
it that hard to find a quarterback that can throw the ball forward that you got to bring a guy out of retirement that's been retired for years? It's not like he just retired.
1,800 days, I think, since if he plays this weekend, it'll be 1,800 days since he.
Like, there's no one who's the best quarterback in the UFL right now. That guy can't operate your offense. I would want someone with like some level of mobility. Phillip Rivers is not going to move anywhere but the 3-foot diameter box that he's in.
Well, Danny Jones was playing with a broken freaking leg almost. He wasn't very mobile the last game or two he played.
That's true.
Right?
He also wasn't very good.
Yeah, good point. Good point. All right, that is mic'd up.
Coming up next, we're going to get into your text. I see a really good one that is sitting there on the text line. I want to ask Mike about that. You can ask us anything you want. Any single thing you want to get us going on, we will answer it. We're an open book. 50857. We're back with those next.
It's a Yingling Football Friday on Game On.
It's crunch time, Orlando. You're down to the 2-minute drill. You need to sell fast for top dollar. Who's your quarterback? Easy. The Nickley Group, right? They've got a whole playbook of seller solutions, guaranteed cash offers. You can close in 14 days. Buy before you sell programs. No juggling homes. Instant home value reports based on local market data. More buyers are flooding the market, and the Nickley Group knows how to get your home noticed. That's why they sell a home every 9 hours. Don't get blitzed by national headlines. This is a local market, and you need local pros who know every yard line of Central Florida real estate. So get your guaranteed offer today at thenicklygroup.com. That's thenicklygroup.com. Tell them I sent you, and who knows? I might even be at your next closing. If you want to buy or sell quickly, just call Nickley.
Guess who's back? Well, it's your world champion Orlando Valkyries headed back to Addition Financial Arena for another exciting season. Head coach Amy Pauley has this crew ready to roll, and they're going to be unveiling their championship banner on opening night, which is Friday, January 9th at 7 p.m. Single game tickets are available by heading to their website. Family 4-packs, you get 4 tickets, 4 $10 concession vouchers, and 4 championship cups for only $100. Let's go support the team as they drop the banner on January 9th. We'll see you at the arena, and go Valks.
On Florida's Turnpike, that accident northbound before US 27, that's been cleared up. You won't be running into any trouble there. Northbound on the Turnpike, it's stop and go before US 27 on I-4 westbound. There's a crash off to the shoulder before Sand Lake Road getting cleared up. Move over and slow down if you see police activity or emergency crews on the roadways there. And if you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
Christmas music playing right now on Magic 107.7.
Feliz Navidad.
Magic 107.7.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Orlando's Christmas station.
This report is sponsored by Macy's Backstage. Macy's Backstage is a whole department inside your Macy's store where you can find so many holiday essentials, all for under $25. With new arrivals every day, you never know what amazing deals you'll find. Don't wait. Find a location at macysbackstage.com.
Live boxing is back at Caribe Royale, Orlando on Saturday, December 13th in conjunction with the 104th Annual WBA Convention. Records and titles are on the line. In the main event, undefeated Cuban standout Kevin Brown takes on battle-tested Cletus Selden for the WBA Interim Super Lightweight title. Plus, a dynamic lineup of undefeated local stars, including Ariel Golden Hulk Perez and female powerhouse Jasmine the Animal Artiga defending her WBA title. Tickets available at Ticketmaster or at CaribeRoyale.com/boxing.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Attention, all Florida State Seminole fans and alumni. Did you know that 71,000 Noles have FSU specialty license plates? The FSU license plate is the simplest way to convey your school spirit and support academic excellence via scholarships. FSU even provides a $25 rebate for first-time buyers. Stop by your local tax collector's office and get an FSU tag today, or find out more at mytag.fsu.edu. Go Noles!
They won't say it, but after a crash, your car may lose value, even if it's fixed. It's called diminished value, and we know how to go after it. Farah and Farah. It's what we're built for. Call us.
Orlando. Betting exchanges have become the new craze in sports betting, and there is no one on the internet that does it better than BetterEdge. So transparent, so honest, so user-friendly. BetterEdge gives you that little extra advantage that you need. I've said it many times. I've bet on sports for a while. I did not start making money consistently until I started using BetterEdge. I also share competitions every Friday that we can dive into together as well. My Beat Brandon Challenge. Sign up for the first time, get $20 on the house. Just use the promo code BeatBrandon when you sign up at betteredge.com or on the BetterEdge app.
Hey, Florida drivers, the holiday season is upon us. When celebrating, always plan ahead and know all your options. If you drink, don't get behind the wheel. Instead, designate a sober driver or catch a ride service. And if you are the designated sober driver, commit to staying sober. Besides, a DUI could cost you $10,000. Not exactly the best gift you could give yourself. Celebrate responsibly and remember to drive sober or get pulled over. This message brought to you by the Florida Department of Transportation.
If you want your windows there and Reese, pick up the phone and just text Reese.
Protect your home with Reese Windows and Doors. Trusted for over 50 years to deliver the highest quality factory direct impact windows available, with most installs done in under 8 weeks. And now the giveaway is bigger than ever. Win $25,000 in brand new windows absolutely free. Just text WOW to 20129. Already entered? Then you're automatically eligible to win $25,000 in windows. Don't wait. Text WOW to 20129.
You don't just hear it, you see it. iHeartRadio Highlights brings you the best show moments, the wild takes, hot reactions, and clips everybody's talking about. Search Fox Sports Radio in the iHeartRadio app to experience Fox Sports like never before.
Furnished by Genuine.
Follow the game on Facebook at 96.9 The Game. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine, accident attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
The free iHeartRadio app is the #1 app for the holidays.
Have a holly jolly Christmas.
The amazing iHeart Christmas and playlist you'll love all in one place. Open the app, search holiday, and let the festivities begin.
You took the elevator to the 48th floor and handed him the briefing. Your fingertips touched, sending a shockwave of desire through the air. The room pulsed with a silent craving as he drew you in with his smoldering gaze. Before uttering the words your body ached to hear.
Next train on track 2 is delayed.
And all the while, you were on your commute home. There's more to imagine when you listen. Discover romance titles on Audible.
Do you own a small business? A seismic shift is coming. It's time to get super sure. Coming soon.
I learned patience from my adoptive dad. All he had to say was,
Hey, you got this. Just breathe. Hey, we're pretty good.
Yeah.
Might have to start a band.
I got it.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
WYGM Orlando, WJRR HD2, Cocoa Beach, Orlando, an iHeart radio station.
Yeah!
Guaranteed human. It's a free-for-all Friday. Let your voice be heard and see what you can get Bianchi and Kravitz all fired up about. Text us at 50857 or hit us up on the iHeart Radio Talkback. Now back to Game On.
I'm all fired up about Fridays, as is Wing House. It's Lingerie Friday, where the girls turn up the heat while serving your favorite wings. It's the ultimate way to kick off the weekend. Great food, bold flavors, unforgettable views, whether you're celebrating or just unwinding. Fridays at Wing House, always a vibe. Wing House, good food, beautifully served. Let's head to the Rage Cage. We got a couple of ideas, thoughts, questions, comments, and concerns. Let's go to Jacob.
All right, what do you guys think about this new NFL rule that I thought up in the shower? So the normal field goal is 3 points, but what if before the snap you declare to the refs that your kicker is calling to hit the goalpost on purpose? And if he does, it's 4 points. If he doesn't, 0. I know it sounds like something that would be out of Spring League, but tell me that wouldn't create some absolute chaos and hype moments on Sunday.
I like it, except 4 points is not nearly enough. I mean, if you can hit the goalpost, you realize how hard that would be to hit the goalpost?
But you think it should be worth, a touchdown's worth 6. You can't make it worth that much. That has to be the most important thing, a 5-point play. I like that Jacob's thinking about these things while bathing himself.
In the shower, soaping it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have random thoughts like that too while I'm showering.
Yeah.
Totally get
It's a bad visual.
Shower thoughts. You're in the shower thinking about goalposts.
I'm thinking I'm thinking of Jacob naked in the shower, thinking about goalposts.
Okay, Jaden, you might have to clip that one. What about Jesse? What you got?
Guys, I want to know one of your best or favorite Christmas memories. I've got a pretty good one. When I was about 6 years old, my stepdad had put some presents out in the yard. And he said, "Hey, what's that?" And we were like, "Oh my gosh, there's presents." We run out in the yard and then we look up and there's presents on the roof. And we were like, "Oh my gosh, they must have fallen out of Santa's sleigh." And if I didn't believe in Santa before then, I certainly did after that.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
That's really good.
Yeah.
I know mine. Mine's easy. I remember I was 8 years old, just a lonely Jewish boy in Coral Springs, Florida, looking out my window, wondering why all the other kids got to celebrate Christmas and I didn't. And then I think I turned on the Bulls-Suns game or something.
And then Aunt Agnes came over and said,
"Don't worry, you have 8 nights, Brandon. These other kids get 1 morning. Do the math."
I'll tell you mine later.
Coming up next, we're going to get back into the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the free-falling Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But first, we'll kick you over to Fox Sports. Quick 60-second update, and then we're right back to it.
Local, in your face, and bald. Very bald. Let's send you to the studio for the premier afternoon sports show in the state of Florida. Game On with Mike Bianchi and Brandon Kravitz.
Hey, jingity jing.
Hee-haw, hee-haw.
It's Dominic the donkey. Jingity jing.
Hee-haw, hee-haw.
The Italian Christmas donkey.
Ah, la, 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 la. Ya, 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 la, la,
It's our second favorite Italian, Dominic the Donkey. Our first favorite will be joining us in the 5 o'clock hour. I hear Paulie's on his
Maybe
way
we
right
should
now.
welcome Paulie in with a little Dominic the Donkey.
You know, usually we only play it once per show, but I think this is a special occasion. Okay. We are live in Orlando, Jacksonville, and Tallahassee. It's Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz, the premier sports talk radio show in the state of Florida. And not only can you listen to us terrestrially on whatever station across the state you choose, you can also listen on iHeartRadio. And you can watch the show, too, on YouTube, 96.9 The Game. No spaces. Throw that in the search, and we'll pop right up. So Scott Reynolds called it yesterday on our show.
That's when I knew the 4.5. Bet the money line on the Falcons.
I was on my phone. I hope Mike doesn't expect me to say anything. We got work to do over here on the iPhone.
Maybe
slamming on the apps.
Maybe the Bulldog got on Hard Rock Bet yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Huh? Maybe.
I think maybe you did. So he said that not only would the Falcons give the Bucs fits, he said that Kirk Cousins would dice up the Bucs defense like a Christmas ham. And he was right about that. Cousins threw 3 touchdown passes, all to Kyle Pitts, who looked like Tony Gonzalez last night. Speaking of Gonzalez, is it Zan?
Zan
Gonzalez game-winning field goal, and that drops the Bucs to 7-7 in the process. The Falcons are a 5-9, overcame a franchise record 19 penalties, down 14 points in the fourth quarter. Uneffing excusable, as Todd Bowles would say. Here's Bowles after the game.
Don't make excuses. You gotta care enough where the hurts. You gotta care enough where the hurts. It gotta mean something to you. It's more than a job. It's your livelihood. How well do you know your job? How well can you do your job? Well, you can't quote that. It was inexcusable, and there's no answer for it. There's no excuse for it. That's what you tell them in the locker room.
So
that's 7 F-bombs, bro.
That was a lot. He had a point to get across. He also said that the players have to hold themselves accountable.
At this point, you've seen everything in the season. You know, the coaches have done everything they can do. This is a player-driven team in the last 4 or 5 weeks. You got to execute, and they got to hold each other accountable. As a coach, you can sit there till you blue in the face until they start holding each other accountable and doing the little things right. And that's not everybody. Now we're talking about a small select few, but the small select few is what's getting us beat. And until that happens, it's not going to get right. So we got to get up and go to work tomorrow. No matter how bad today looks, you got to put it behind you, and we got to win the last 3 games. We know that.
It sounds like a guy that is out on at least 4 or 5 of the guys that are on the team.
Sounds like they have some issues of some sort. Does it not?
Yeah, that's exactly what this sounds like. And they've now lost 5 of their last 6 games. Their offense can't seem to line up with their defense in terms of good games on the same day. And they're just vanilla. There's nothing that the Bucs do week after week where you go, wow, they are just lights out better at this area of football than their competition is. And Todd Bowles says that it comes down to a lack of execution.
3rd and 28, you got to be able to play it. It's 3rd and 28. It doesn't matter whether you rush 4-man, 5-man, or 6-man. You know where the ball's going. You got to get off the field. It was inexcusable the way we played the 4th and 14.
Why not just keep blitzing?
You could say that. In 4th and 14, they get one out quick and throw a screen. You got nobody there. It's a touchdown. That's not even an issue right there.
Todd Bowles is like, that's not a very good question.
yeah, Billy, what about it?
That's not a very good question.
Yeah, he agrees. And so it sounds like that Bowles, you're kind of dotting the I's and crossing the T's here, connecting dots. Todd Bowles is a defensive guy. That's as frustrated as we've ever heard him.
No
and
question.
It was defensive lapses at the end of the game. He's calling out members of the defense, but Baker Mayfield's putting it on himself. He says this one's going to haunt him.
Disappointing, obviously, but falls on my shoulders. Can't turn the ball over. Can't have that interception. Got to hit Mech in stride on that 3rd down. Listen, you can say what you want about being up 2 scores and the defense right there, but we have to be better on offense, and it comes down to how I play. And this one's going to haunt me. This falls on my shoulders.
Okay, so unpopular opinion here, because I know a lot of folks in Tampa were calling last night's game a must-win. and the team sounds all distraught,
Right.
and people are talking about Todd Bowles is
Right.
going to lose his job. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter at all. Last night,
because they have Carolina 2 of the last.
yeah,
Right.
it doesn't matter that they lost to the Falcons. What matters is the way they're playing. That's the problem. The problem isn't that they lost to the Atlanta Falcons. It doesn't matter. The Bucks have the Bucks have the Panthers 2 times in the final 3 weeks of the season. You win those 2 games, you take care of business, you're done.
Okay, but again, you've lost 5 of the last 6, and it's not just that they're losing, Kravitz. They're losing at home to bad teams. The Saints and the Falcons at home the last 2 weeks. They were booed off the field last night at home. And I'm not saying Todd Bowles should lose his job, but that's the quickest way to lose your job, when you lose home games to bad teams, because fans don't like to pay a bunch of money to go to a game and parking and $14 beers and lose to bad teams. That's when they really get disgruntled. Okay.
Yeah, especially when it's a game that you had well in hand. I'm not even sure which is worse. Maybe that's a debate for another day. You just get smoked and have one of those days where you don't have it, or a day where you do have it and then you let it slip at the end, a game that they absolutely should have won. I don't think Todd Bowles should lose his job. Let me say that very plainly. I don't even think it should be a debate. This guy has had
time out though. Go ahead. What were
he
you?
has had star coordinators over the last couple of seasons that he has churned out and made great head coaches out of. Dave Canales is doing a tremendous job with Carolina, that now their problem. But Dave Canales was his offensive coordinator. And then he replaced Dave Canales with Liam Cohen, who's also looking like he's going to be one of the better head coaches in the NFL. One of the hallmarks of being a good coach is creating good coordinators and hiring good coordinators. It's not just the job you do, it's the job you hire others to do. It's a leadership position. Todd Bowles is really good at that. And maybe he doesn't have the guys in place right now, but you're going to fire the guy that consistently brings the right assistant coaches into the building and is very well respected around the league and has had tremendous success with the Bucks. I think that's a huge mistake. I don't even think it should be considered.
Okay, but I tend to agree with you. But worst case scenario, say this free fall continues. Say they free fall right out of the playoffs. All right. This could have, Todd Bowles could lose his job if that happens.
Well, sure. Anybody that loses in the playoffs and any sport could lose.
I'm not talking about losing in the playoffs. I'm talking about not making the playoffs. I'm talking about not making the playoffs. If they don't make the playoffs after where they were, 6-2, there's going to be an outcry for Todd Bowles to lose his job. And you know what? You know what else? This is going to have major ramifications. Baker Mayfield might not get an extension after this season if the free fall continues. What? Kravitz.
We went from MVP to this guy's not going to get an extension. He hasn't been that bad.
He hasn't? You're the one who brought up his stats over the last.
I don't think he's healthy right now. I don't think the team has been healthy. We're just going to forget that this has been one of the most injured teams of the season.
Okay, so you want to give him a big extension after a bad year. Is that what you're saying?
I want to give him a big extension.
Okay, no, he has a year left on his contract. Come back next year. Let's see what you got.
Yeah, it's obvious. This is what teams do. They find the quarterback that leads them to victories, and then they don't let him go. There's no way they're going to move off of Baker Mayfield.
You mean like the Dolphins thought they had the quarterback in Tua and paid him, and now they wish they hadn't paid him? No, you don't pay a quarterback if you don't make the playoffs and the quarterback has a bad year. I'm sorry. I don't care what he did earlier this season. Make the playoffs. Then you get paid.
Paying Tua was a mistake. Paying Tua was a mistake because you weren't even sure that you could trust him to stay healthy. Now he has stayed healthy, and he's just not that good. Paying Trevor Lawrence is probably just premature, but they drafted him number 1 overall. They're pot committed to the guy. Baker Mayfield has been a really good quarterback with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for several seasons, and he has had a rough month. Yes, and I detailed that yesterday. It was part of the reason why I bet the Falcons and thought the Bucs weren't going to score a whole lot of points last night. They wound up doing that because Baker Mayfield's a good quarterback.
Why do you have to pay a quarterback who's already under contract? Why do you have to pay him? Why can't you wait? Why can't you wait and see? Is that such a bad thing? The guy's under contract. He has a year left.
I get it. That's just not the way it works.
Well, it should be. Again, like the Iowa State AD. We need the federal government. No, you make the decision as the ownership group to pay your people or not pay your people.
And then his agent's going to tell him to hold out, and he's going to hold out, and then you don't have a quarterback. And how are you supposed to succeed that way in football?
You think he's going to hold out if he has a bad year? I don't. I think he's going to want to come back and show that this year was a
He has
fluke.
not had a bad year, though. He's had a bad month. It's been a bad couple of weeks.
I put a caveat on it. If the free fall continues, I said.
This guy was an MVP candidate before Halloween.
If the free fall continues, is what I said. If God forbid they lose their next 3 games, he ain't getting an extension, Kravitz. Live with that. If they lose their next 3 games and don't make the playoffs, he ain't getting nothing.
It's a lot of money to consider. I'm going to have to think about this one. I'm going to put this one in the back pocket.
Ask your boy Mike
I
Genetti
plan
next
on
week,
it.
huh?
I absolutely will. And I know that he's going to go, yeah, you got to pay the guy. Up next, intrigued or fatigued? What games have us all revved up for the weekend? We'll get to that next.
It's a Yingling Football Friday on Game On.
Let's be honest. You got your favorite car mechanic. You got your favorite barber. At least Jaden has his favorite barber. Kravitz and I do not have a favorite barber. And you have your favorite pizza place, your favorite sushi place. But what about your AC company? Do you have one you can trust? If not, I want you to meet my team, Ziegler Air Conditioning. All right. Jason and his crew have been cooling Central Florida for 40 years. That's 4 decades of keeping homes cool as a cucumber, keeping systems efficient, customers happy. They're not here to upsell you or push a new system just to make a commission. No, that's not who they are, right? Their technicians are paid to fix, maintain, and do it right. They're a carrier authorized dealer, also a factory authorized dealer, which means they can get you even better deals and rebates than most. And they have total confidence your system, or you will have total confidence your system is in good hands. And when you call, guess what? You're not going to get some phone tree. You're not going to get some AI voice. You're going to get a real person, Meredith, not some, again, endless phone maze. Ziegler Air even saved me over the Labor Day weekend when my AC quit at 95 degrees outside. They were there in an hour, and I was cooling off before my coffee did. So get your maintenance scheduled now. Fall's the best time to do it. Give them a call, 407-245-8765, 407-245-8765. Ziegler Air Conditioning. Don't ever lose your cool.
I don't know about you, but I can't stand when I see creepy crawlies all over my house. That's why I have to have a pest control provider that doesn't just treat the pest problem, they solve it. You can keep your home protected from the bugs all year long. Get yourself a termite bond while you're at it. Tell them that Brandon Kravitz and Mike Bianchi from Game On sent you by. Get 10% off of your initial service. Burn Pest is a family-run operation right here in our backyard in Central Florida. Go and find them online easily, and don't stress about these pests anymore. It's burnpests.com.
There's a couple more lanes that opened up now on I-4 eastbound approaching Lake Mary Boulevard. The left lane's only blocked, and we got emergency crews still on the roadways there. There's a crash on the beach line westbound at Dallas Main Line Toll Plaza, blocking the left lane. That's causing some stop and go from State Road 520. We got emergency crews still on the roadways on 408 westbound at John Young Parkway. That's off to the shoulder. See traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the traffic center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by SuperSure.
Stop buying business insurance blind. SuperSure's licensed advisors help break things down clearly so you understand your options. When you're not sure, get SuperSure or supersure.com. That's supersure.com.
Paid for by SuperSure Insurance Agency, LLC, a Florida licensed insurance agency, not an insurer, and only available in Florida.
I'm Sean Kelly, voice of the Gators. Fellas, let's be honest. Shopping for your wife can be tough. But this Christmas, International Diamond Center has your back. Whether you're aiming for a romantic surprise or the gift she'll share with all her friends, IDC makes you look like a hero. Our showcases are loaded with can't-miss winners, diamond earrings, tennis bracelets, handcrafted designer pieces, and a whole lot of sparkle. The best part? You don't have to go it alone. At IDC, our non-commissioned jewelry experts are here to help. No pressure, no games, just real guidance for any budget. Tell us about her style, your price range, and we'll help you find the one. And right now, you can spread your payments over 5 years with 0 interest. That means you can give her something truly special and keep your holiday budget in check. A $3,000 bracelet is just $50 a month. So guys, step up, stop stressing, and let us help you nail it. Find holiday hours, locations, and more at shopidc.com.
Live boxing is back at Caribe Royale, Orlando on Saturday, December 13th in conjunction with the 104th Annual WBA Convention. Records and titles are on the line. In the main event, undefeated Cuban standout Kevin Brown takes on battle-tested Cletus Selden for the WBA Interim Super Lightweight title, plus a dynamic lineup of undefeated local stars, including Ariel Golden Hulk Perez and female powerhouse Jasmine the Animal Artiga defending her WBA title. Tickets available at Ticketmaster or at CaribeRoyale.com/boxing.
They won't say it, but after a crash, your car may lose value, even if it's fixed. It's called diminished value, and we know how to go after it. Farah and Farah. It's what we're built for. Call us.
Orlando.
A clutch performance is great on the football field, but when it comes to your freedom, clutch play from your legal representation is vital. When your freedom's on the line, you need Trey Flynn in your corner. Trey is a board-certified criminal defense attorney with 18 years of criminal defense experience. Trey's record speaks for itself. He defends DUI cases, serious felonies, and will fight tooth and nail to protect your rights and your future. Visit TreyFlynn.com or dial 407-557-6350. Arrested today? Call Trey.
If you want your windows there in weeks, pick up the phone and just text Reese.
Protect your home with Reese Windows and Doors. Trusted for over 50 years to deliver the highest quality factory direct impact windows available, with most installs done in under 8 weeks. And now the giveaway is bigger than ever. Win $25,000 in brand new windows absolutely free. Just text WOW to 20129. Already entered? Then you're automatically eligible to win $25,000 in windows. Don't wait. Text WOW to 20129.
Remember who taught you your ABCs? Who showed you kindness and sharing? That was Sesame Street. And today, Sesame Workshop is still helping children around the world grow smarter, stronger, and kinder.
But I can't do it alone.
This holiday season, Sesame needs your support. Donate now at sesame.org. That's SESAME.org. Because the world needs Sesame, and Sesame needs you.
Loves you. Thanks for making a difference.
We are Orlando's sports leader, broadcasting live from the FM 96.9 The Game studio. Brought to you by the Nickley Group, Orlando's home team. Doing real estate differently. TheNickleyGroup.com.
What were some of the memories from your USO tours?
That nobody knew who I was, and they were like, why do we have to say hello to this guy?
Recently on the Good Stuff podcast, we sat down with our friend Bradley Cooper to talk about his deep friendship with host Jacob.
He was there when I found out that I was going to have a baby.
You showed me the picture. You're like, what's that mean? And I was like, oh my God.
And how they've been there for each other through the hard times.
And I was able to sort of walk Jacob through some stuff.
Yeah, next month I'll be 8 years clean and sober.
Open your free iHeartRadio app, search the Good Stuff podcast, and listen now.
Do you own a small business? A seismic shift is coming. It's time to get Super Sure.
Game on with Bianchi and Kravitz.
Getting your wife, now ex-wife, a treadmill for Christmas is worse than when she asks you if she's getting fat and you say, no, honey, you just need to tone up a little bit. Because both those issues happen to me. What's worse, Kravitz?
I think buying the treadmill is worse. Because that's an investment of saying you need to hop on this thing.
But she said she wanted a treadmill.
Yeah, it's called a trap, Mike.
Listen to Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz weekdays starting at 3 p.m. on FM 96.9 The Game, AM 740, and streaming on the iHeartRadio app.
It's 4 a.m., Monday, and you're literally sucking baby snot through a tube because she's congested. Man, That's love. And if you love her that much, love her enough to make sure she's buckled in the right car seat. To make sure your child's in the right seat for their age and size, visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Show them you love them. Keep them safe. Visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Orlando's hometown sports station. This is 96.9 The Game, AM 740, and the free iHeartRadio app. Welcome back to the premier afternoon sports show in the state of Florida. Game On with Mike Bianchi and Brandon Kravitz.
It's the GOAT.
Don't want a lot for Christmas. There is just
Maybe the female
one
goat.
I need.
Burr alive. Come on.
This is the greatest Christmas song ever made.
Did you not hear I Am Santa in the second segment? Are you kidding me?
She's the nanny goat. Burl's the Billy goat.
I can't argue against Burl. I have no good argument against Burl Lives. But this is just know that at 40 years old, Christmas morning, I just wake up and this song starts playing. I'm ready to go. Hot cocoa, open some presents, got my pajamas on. The vibe. All right, Mike, you want to get to it?
It is time to play a little Intrigued or Fatigued.
Let's enter the lounge of the speakeasy lounge of intrigue, baby.
All right, let's start with the tradition like no other in college football. Army versus Navy. And before you answer, Kravitz, you need to hear this.
Anchors away, my boys, anchors away. Farewell to foreign shores, we sail at break of day. Through our last night ashore, drink to the foam. Until we meet once more, here's wishing you a happy voyage home.
Oh, are you intrigued or are you fatigued?
It is un-American to say that you are fatigued by this game. It is.
So you're going to watch it?
As American as apple pie.
So you're going to watch it?
Yeah, it's going to be on. I'm watching it.
Okay.
Oh, I got a little cup preparation around that time, so I could be a little busy, but yeah, I've watched this game every year.
I'll have no.
Yeah. It's it's never the best football game.
Right.
But it does feel like one of those things.
The pageantry, all of that stuff.
It feels like an event. It feels like one of those things you have to watch, even if you're not into it. Almost like the Olympics, even though football is a sport that I love watching, this is Army and Navy outside of the patriotic pride that comes with that and the pageantry around the game itself. Just the football teams, I would not be interested in watching this game. So it's a little bit like the Olympics where I watch sports that I would never watch just because it makes me feel like a real strong red-blooded American.
All right, I'm going to add a caveat to this one because the NBA Cup, I know you're interested because the Magic are in it, all right? But I'm going to give you a theoretical scenario here. If it was the Knicks versus the Heat tomorrow, would you be intrigued or fatigued by the NBA Cup?
Intrigued.
Oh, no, you.
Yes, I would.
You would?
Yes, I like the NBA Cup. I love the fact that the Magic are involved, but when that game is over, the first thing I'm going to do is go home and turn on OKC and San Antonio. Win, lose, or draw. I'm not going to do it as some scouting assignment. I'm just going to watch it because I'm intrigued with
if Wemby plays,
the novelty.
If Wemby plays, you'll watch it. Otherwise, you won't.
Well, I mean, I probably won't need to watch it for long if Wemby doesn't play, but I'll watch it.
All right.
I like the novelty of the in-season tournament.
I've
liked it for the first couple of years. I think it's created an environment. It reminds me a little bit of the bubble where the basketball feels different to me. And I like that because there's so much sameness that goes on throughout the NBA season.
All right. Even though I'm a Jags fan, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not intrigued by Jets, Jags. Intrigued or fatigued?
Fatigued. I somehow knew that Brady Cook played at Missouri, but I couldn't tell you if he walked in here and said, "Hi, I'm Brady Cook," I'd be like, "Are you?" I don't know. I'm just not into this one.
No.
And the Jags had such a big game last week. There was so much anticipation. Biggest game ever. This one just falls flat. They're double-digit favorites. This is one of those where we don't need to watch this. Just don't lose, Jacksonville.
Right.
Don't make me pay attention to this game at the end of the 1 o'clock during the witching hour. Scott Hansen's doing his whip around. And all of a sudden, it's the Jets have a 3-point lead deep into the fourth quarter. Don't do that. Just win the game comfortably and don't make any of us care about it.
Intrigued or fatigued? Chargers, Chiefs.
Heavily intrigued.
Really?
Yeah, very. This is the elimination game for the Kansas City Chiefs. We kind of been flirting with this idea the last couple of weeks. This is it. If they lose this game, they're done. Absolutely done. And the Chargers are a little suspect. I know they won on Monday Night Football against the Eagles, but Herbert didn't look right. Their offensive line is still...
Chargers kind of bore me. They bore me. And the Chiefs, they're just a mess. I'm not intrigued.
Yeah, but they're like a toxic, entertaining mess. Watching their demise, I find very entertaining. So I'm into that one. That's one of the best games of the week for me.
Indianapolis at Seattle.
Fatigued.
Oh, stop it.
Yeah, I don't care.
You want to see Phillip Rivers. You're intrigued by that. How
You're
can
lying.
you not be intrigued by
It'll be
that?
like one corner, catch it in the periphery. Like, how's he looking? I already know. Why are we intrigued by this? He's
That's
not
the
going to
most
be good.
intriguing storyline of the NFL weekend.
No, that's what you're being sold as the most intriguing storyline of the weekend.
I don't have to be sold that.
You just hate the Colts.
I don't hate the
It always
Colts.
comes back to that. Daniel Jones.
Well, he
didn't
was
like-
boring too, but Phillip Rivers is going to be bad. Why are we thinking he's going to be anything but bad? He's a Hall of Fame level quarterback.
We think he's going to
that hasn't played in 5 years.
We think he's going to be bad, but there's just that
No, do you know what this is?
teeny,
You remember when Mike Tyson?
Maybe.
Remember when Mike Tyson stepped back into the ring a few months ago, and we were like, "What's this gonna look like?" And then you know what it looked like? He's old. Okay, there's a shelf life to this stuff. My knee hurt. I'm 40. My knee hurts. Why? I have no idea. Just does. I just have a painful knee right now. Phillip Rivers over the hill. No, not intrigued.
All right, I'm going to 3 games here. I'm going to give you a choice, though. Which one are you most intrigued with? I know you're going to be intrigued by all of them, all right? Green Bay, Denver, Buffalo, New England, or Detroit, Rams. Which one are you most intrigued?
It's like picking which one of your children is best.
On paper, I think Green Bay, Denver's probably the.
That's not my answer, though.
Yeah, not mine either.
Because to me, it's so obvious that the Broncos at some point are going to reveal themselves as the frauds they are, and it could very well happen against the Packers. I think it's the Bills and the Patriots. Those are the two teams right now that, to me, feel like they're different from everybody else in the AFC, and this is a very tough conference to figure out right now. The Patriots have been the best team. They already have a win over the Buffalo Bills. But the Bills are the most established team of the teams that are in playoff positioning in the AFC, and they still have the best player in the conference in Josh Allen. And the Bills owe them one. And it's going to be freezing cold. This is going to be a classic December divisional matchup. I am very intrigued by that one. So I'll go Bills-Patriots, but not an easy choice.
There you have it. And that is intrigue or fatigue.
And perhaps some of those games land on the locks list an hour from now. So make sure you're tuning in the 5 o'clock hour. Up next, the Orlando Magic head to Vegas. So we're going to chat with beat writer Jason Beatty from OrlandoSentinel.com. He's in Las Vegas chatting with the team. We'll see what this actually means to the Orlando Magic and Magic faithful. We'll get into that next.
Man, I gotta have it. It's a one of a kind. Now I'm going once, going twice. I'm sold to Bianchi on the radio show. 96.9 on the dial. I know him and BK won't tell you no lies. Man, I just love those Orlando guys. Sold. Game on the radio.
Sold to Mills Air for getting the Kravitz household feeling right ahead of the holidays. The vents, the outdoor unit, the indoor unit, everything humming the way that it should. And now I can just kick my feet up and enjoy the holidays the way that you should. Mills Air eliminates the problems. They'll maintain your unit. They're super friendly and helpful as well. It's a neighborhood business, but their reach stretches far and wide. Mills Air services every nook and cranny of Central Florida, including your area. Top-notch service, nothing but the best. Whether you need a new unit or an upgrade to your existing unit, Mills Air can help keep your home cool and energy efficient while improving your indoor air quality and time. Protect your investment and give yourself some peace of mind while you do. Call Leon and the crew, schedule your appointment, and tell them that Brandon Kravitz from Game On sent you by. The number to call, 407-277-1159 and online at millsair.com.
Are you ready for a weekend getaway that's got something for everyone? Then pack your bags and head to Mission Resort and Club in beautiful Howey in the Hills, just a short drive from Orlando, right there next to Claremont. Mission Resort is renowned for its 2 stunning championship golf courses. El Campeon, the champion, was founded in 1917 and is one of the most tradition-steeped courses in the Southeast. Book your tee times, and when you check in at the pro shop, tell them Mike Bianchi sent you. You'll get a free bucket of range balls. But there's more than just golf. You can also play pickleball, tennis, rent a boat at the marina, and explore the largest chain of lakes in Florida. And they have so many exclusive holiday events. How about a tea with Santa and Mrs. Claus on Saturday, December 20th? Bring the kids. Or how about the lavish Christmas grand brunch on Christmas Day, or the unparalleled elegance of the New Year's Eve gala on December 31st? Make reservations for the hotel, golf tee times, or the festive holiday events at missionresortandclub.com. Mission Resort, your next great escape is closer than you think.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Orlando Magic basketball lives here on 96.9 The Game, and your game day Magic coverage is powered by IBEW Local 606. Proud to serve electrical workers across Central Florida, providing its members with a supportive community, training, valuable benefits, and advancement opportunities. IBEW Local 606 has been powering and serving Central Florida for over 75 years, and they are the dream team for electrical workers across this area. For more info, head to IBEWLocal606.org and go Magic.
Here's something most of us don't want to think about, but probably should. Clay Travis and Buck Sexton here for our friend Mike Lester and the team at Talon Wealth Management.
That thing we don't want to talk about is a will. If you don't have one, Mike and his team would like to help you out. They'll start you off with a comprehensive financial plan.
If you are 55 or over and have saved at least $250,000 for retirement, the Talon Comprehensive Financial Plan is complimentary. And when that plan's in hand, you will also receive the gift of a will and trust courtesy of Talon Wealth.
The folks at Talon Wealth are not attorneys, but they work with a group of attorneys who'll provide a will and trust at no charge to you. Reach out at 813-755-5000. 813-755-5000. One more time, that's 813-755-5000. And be sure and tell them that Clay and Buck sent you.
Advisory services offered through Talon Private Wealth LLC, a SEC-registered investment advisor. The information provided is for educational and informational purposes only and should not be construed as legal, tax, or financial advice.
Oh, how's that flu, babe? Did you take DayQuil Intense Flu yet?
Nah, I got this. Ugh, okay, I don't got this.
You stay on the couch, and I'll grab the DayQuil.
Undo your flu symptoms with DayQuil Intense Flu. DayQuil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms.
I'm ready for that to-do list.
Wow, you do got this.
DayQuil Intense Flu. The daytime coughing, aching, fever, under your flu medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
If you've been diagnosed with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis, this is what it sounds like to be 1,000,000 miles away. Imagine being 1,000,000 miles away. Tremfya Kuzelkumab, taken by injection, is a prescription medicine for adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who may benefit from taking injections or pills or phototherapy. With Tremfya, clearer skin is possible. In clinical trials, at least 70% of patients saw at least 90% clearer skin at 16 weeks. Results may vary. Tremfya is also indicated for adults with active psoriatic arthritis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Ask your doctor about Tremfya. Call 1-800-526-7736 or visit tremfya.com.
Have an easy holiday only at Staples. Save on top tech and gaming gifts, plus shipping supplies and services for safe delivery. Don't miss 50% off custom cards, photo gifts, wrapping paper, and more. Visit staples.com/print for details. Staples, that was easy.
The Jags will meet the Jets Sunday, looking to maintain their lead in the AFC South. They lead the Texans by a game with 4 games left. Magic, they'll face the Knicks in the NBA Cup semifinals. That one's tomorrow in Vegas. As for the Lightning, they wrap up their road trip and go for a 3rd straight win tomorrow against the Islanders. And to college hoops, these games are tomorrow. It'll be the Gators hosting George Washington. Florida State, they take on UMass. I'm Scott Davidson.
This is Doug Gottlieb. Here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Mercedes-Benz.
Despite wintry conditions and heavy traffic, the holidays have to go on. That's why Mercedes-Benz SUVs come equipped with the latest safety technology to keep your festive plans on track. Discover the incredible offers for yourself at the Mercedes-Benz Holiday Love Celebration.
Eustace Roofing. New roof, no mess.
Do you own a small business? A seismic shift is coming. It's time to get super sure. Coming soon.
Hey, so what's a great way to spread awareness that driving high is illegal everywhere? A catchy song, of course.
You can run, but you can't drive high. You can run, but you can't.
Friendly reminder, don't drive high. If you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Orlando's new home for Florida State football is AM 810 Fox Sports Radio Orlando. Hear every game live on AM 810 or search Fox Sports Radio Orlando on the free iHeartRadio app. Let's hit the local beat and see what's happening with the teams that call the state of Florida home. Sending you back to the studio. It's Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz.
Oh, yeah. The Magic in Las Vegas to take on the New York Knicks tomorrow night. Semifinal action in the Emirates NBA Cup. We have pregame coverage for you at 5, tip-off at 5:30 right here on FM 96.9 The Game, powered by IBEW Local 606, proud to serve electrical workers across Central Florida, providing its members a supportive community, training, valuable benefits, and advancement opportunities. Here to help us break down the action we are about to see this weekend, Jason Beatty, Magic beat writer over at Bianchi's Stomping Grounds, OrlandoSentinel.com. Beatty, how's Vegas treating you?
Well, I haven't been here very long, but so far so good. I was able to rush right over from the airport after arriving this morning and make it over for practice availability and some media and with the team and the guys. And it it's a little bit nicer than summer league. It's not 115 degrees outside. It's in the upper 60s, so it's beautiful, and I'm happy to be here.
Beatty, when you get to the blackjack tables, all the experts will say, don't split your fate, don't split kings or whatever. Split them, double down, and go for it, I say.
Why not? Why not? Because if you don't, you won't know what would happen otherwise.
Right.
So you got to go for it, right?
Exactly.
Yep. All right. Maximize your opportunities. How bad did the players want this NBA Cup comparatively? Because you had a chance to talk to them just recently and at least get a vibe of their excitement of being there. Compare their anticipation for being in Vegas, potentially getting to this point, to where they are now that they're actually on the precipice of this semifinal game.
Yeah, I think it's been a multi-year process for this group. I mean, majority of the guys are the same. They've obviously added Desmond Bane and whatnot and some roster movement, but you talk about Paolo and Franz and Jalen and the core pieces on this group. The first year of the Cup, they lost out on the knockout rounds against the point differential. Last year, they got in the quarterfinals and lost on the road at Milwaukee Bucks, who went on to win the Cup. And this year, they not only went undefeated in group play, but they were the top seed. They hosted a quarterfinal. They came back and beat the Heat. Now they're out here in Vegas. And I can think of 500,000 reasons why they want to win this thing. And that's the amount of money that each player gets if they do get a chance to win this NBA Cup. And I think the energy is high. I mean, it's a big stage. I mean, I wasn't really sure what to anticipate with being out here myself. And I mean, it's a who's who with the media. I mean, I've seen Rachel Nichols and Jay Adonde and Tim Bontemps and, really, national media. So there's a lot of attention on this Cup, a lot of attention on the Magic that maybe otherwise wouldn't have been. I mean, certainly being the playoffs the past 2 years and you have rising stars like Franz and Paolo, of course, there has been more attention on this group, but I think the energy and the vibes are high with this team being out here under the bright lights of Vegas.
Jason, one of the sort of the narratives that the team was being asked the other night when they beat the Heat to get to the semis was, hey, how's this going to help you down the line? I'm playing pressure-packed games in a, do-or-die situation. Do you think this will actually have an effect once the playoffs arrive?
I don't know about once the playoffs arrive. I think every guy we've talked with has made a distinction between this and the playoffs. I think at the same time, though, we talked to Powell a little bit ago here in Vegas, and he said that it's not an exact playoff vibe and anticipation, but it's also not just a regular season game. I think there are some stakes to it, of course, and it's hard to say what the results of this weekend will be for this team, but I don't think I would say that if they went on to win this thing, it wouldn't potentially shift their season into hyperdrive. I mean, this is the type of stuff that, you build momentum in December and January and you roll that into playing your best basketball near the end of the season. That's what they've talked about. I mean, you go back and look at Desmond Bane's game winner. I think that shifted his season and subsequently the Magic and turning around. And, I think winning a cup championship like this on a national stage would certainly help them. But I don't think if we got into May and they're in the, battling the Celtics or the Knicks or something, then they go, well, we were in Vegas back in December and that really helped us. So, every experience is unique and different. And I think this one is definitely more than a regular season game, but I think the guys have made it clear that it's not a playoff game, but it's still really important.
You mentioned Desmond Bane. Obviously, he's the new guy, but just watching him the other night and watching from afar, and you watch him a lot closer to me, it seems almost like, I don't know if he's the team leader now, but the players seem to really look up to him and even defer to him now. Have you noticed that or not?
Yeah, I think this team, is naturally pretty young, and adding a guy like Desmond Bane, who's been one of the top 3-point shooters in the league, since he's entered it, certainly elevated their profile nationally. And I think the guys are, taking on a bit of Des and what he does, and not just referring to throwing the ball at teammates, but bringing that edge and kind of taking on that winner mentality. I mean, I think we've seen Paolo rise in the playoffs, and we've seen Franz rise in the playoffs, and never capable of winning important games. But at the same time, though, Desmond Bane with his multiple 37-point performances, the game-winning shot, just really clutch baskets. A young group of guys like that look up to a guy like that who can perform in the clutch, and they haven't really had a player like that, consistently do that. And I think it goes back to, why they traded for Desmond Bain and why Contavious Caldwell-Pope didn't work out last year. KCP is a 2-time champion, has that experience, but the reality is, he was a 3-and-D guy that has a high quality level of play, but Desmond Bain is more than a 3-point specialist. And when you add in that, dog mentality is what Jamal Mosley calls it, it adds an edge to this group that was already a pretty physical team.
Talking to Jason Beatty from OrlandoSentinel.com. He covers the Magic day in and day out. The team got by without Franz against the Miami Heat. Do you think they can continue to do that, or is he too important to the team's defensive identity?
Yeah, I think it's actually interesting that you mentioned the defense, because a lot of people look at Franz and think of his scoring, his 3-point shooting's up this season. He's obviously been one of the best, driving downhill, his fancy footwork and all that. But defensively, I don't think he gets enough credit. And can they win a few games without him? Of course. Teams rally around, that next man up mentality that they've talked about, but obviously long term they need their best players on the court. And, it's interesting, every time, this is now the 4th time they'll be playing the Knicks. The Magic have won 2 of the 3 games. They most recently lost in New York last week. And every game has been a little different with who's been available. One of the games, Powell got hurt in the first half. Another time, New York didn't have Karl-Anthony Towns. Franz obviously got hurt in a game against New York, and now they're going to be without him again. So, obviously Franz Wagner is important. I know that's a really obvious statement, but, I think having it at a time like this where, Paolo's finding his footing from returning from injury himself, Desmond seems to be on a roll. Jalen is Jalen on both ends of the court. I think they can certainly find a way to beat this Knicks team even without Franz.
Don't worry, Jason. We've made a career off of obvious statements, so no sweat. No sweat there. Jason Beatty from OrlandoSentinel.com. Enjoy your time in Vegas. We look forward to seeing all of your coverage.
I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Magic Knicks coming up tomorrow night. NBA Cup action. Up next, we want to hear from you. Text in.
What time's that game here?
It's pregame, 5 o'clock. Tip-off, 5:30.
5:30. Okay. That's are they behind us or ahead of us?
Yeah, the West Coast time is that would be we're getting on the finger from Jaden. We're gonna teach Jaden how time works during the commercial break. But they're behind us. We want to hear from you. Text in 50857. Back with that next.
It's a Yingling Football Friday on Game On.
Every team has a franchise player, and for your home, it's Renewal by Anderson's Acclaim Impact Windows. 5X material that's twice as strong as vinyl, custom-built durability, impact-resistant, and energy efficient. Everything Florida demands. Renewal replaces windows less than 10 years old every day because they weren't built to last. These windows are, and this is the perfect time to upgrade because the December sales event is happening right now, right as we speak. Buy one window or patio door, get the second 40% off. And if you're one of the first 50 customers, you'll enjoy a free True Scene screen upgrade for added clarity and insect protection. And the financing, man, there ain't no financing. 0 down, 0 payments, 0 interest for 18 months. That's what I call holiday cheer. Give your home the franchise player it deserves. Whether you're in Central Florida, the Gulf Coast, or in Jacksonville, visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free in-home consultation. That's bestwindowsflorida.com. License number CGC 1527613. Renewal by Anderson, where comfort meets savings.
I've been telling you guys about Kevin Krager with LPT Realty, one of the top 25 producing agents in Central Florida. My guy is money, and he joins me now to chat about the latest in real estate. What's the one piece of advice that you would give to first-time home buyers?
Interview agents and ask important questions. Ask what's important to that agent. Make sure that that agent is listening to you and understands what it is that you need when you're buying a house. There's hundreds of thousands of agents across this country, and a lot of people can buy and sell real estate, but to protect what you're doing, you need to make sure that that agent is really connected with you, really listening to you, and has your best interest at heart. It's not a check for me. It's not just a paycheck for a lot of agents, but I want a long-lasting relationship. I'm going to give loyalty to you. And then I also would say, as a home buyer, giving loyalty back to that agent, because at some point you're going to want to sell that house.
Trust and loyalty. You can count on Kevin for that. He'll move you right along through the real estate buying and selling process. 407-702-4635.
There's a couple of accidents that's been moved off to the shoulder now. The Beach Line westbound at Dallas Main Line Toll Plaza, that's off to the left shoulder. I-4 eastbound approaching Lake Mary Boulevard, that's off to the left shoulder. If most of the major roadways are a part of your commute this afternoon, expect to tap the brakes. The roadways are getting busy. See traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
Christmas music playing right now on Magic 107.7.
Feliz Navidad.
Magic 107.7.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Orlando's Christmas station.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know you could save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Those people are probably saving a carload of cash right now. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
It's always a great feeling seeing a fellow Knoll on the road. Show your spirit with the Florida State University specialty license plate. Visit your local tax collector's office and get yours today with a $25 rebate for first-time buyers. Let's pave the streets with garnet and gold. Go Knowles!
Every year, millions of football fans go thirsty. They're forced to get upper bowl seats where they can't even hear the coaches yelling. They have to bring their own food to the tailgate. Sometimes they don't even get a free hat. But at the Staff DNA Cure Bowl, there's another way. A Pinkies ticket gives you a tailgate party section with free food, discounts on beer during the game, and lower bowl end zone tickets in the exclusive Pinkies party section. Get your tickets now at curebowl.com/Pinkies and come party with a purpose.
Heavy metal on a light budget? If it's important, it's not worth compromising. That's why with Farmers, you get quality and savings on your auto insurance. Here, I'll take over. See what you could save at farmers.com.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Underwritten by Farmers Truck or Fire Insurance Exchanges or Affiliate. Products not available in every state.
If you want your windows there in weeks, pick up the phone and just text Reese.
Protect your home with Reese Windows and Doors. Trusted for over 50 years to deliver the highest quality factory direct impact windows available, with most installs done in under 8 weeks. And now the giveaway is bigger than ever. Win $25,000 in brand new windows absolutely free. Just text WOW to 20129. Already entered? Then you're automatically eligible to win $25,000 in windows. Don't wait. Text WOW to 20129.
Have an easy holiday only at Staples. Save on top tech and gaming gifts, plus shipping supplies and services for safe delivery. Don't miss 50% off custom cards, photo gifts, wrapping paper, and more. Visit staples.com/print for details. Staples, that was easy.
Follow the game on Facebook at 96.9 The Game. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine, accident attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. So let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver Card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Do you own a small business? A seismic shift is coming. It's time to get super sure.
Moving Day, a walk for Parkinson's, is happening around the country this spring. More than just a walk, Moving Day is a fun experience that unites the community in the fight against Parkinson's disease. Parkinson's doesn't stop, and neither will we. So let's get moving. Join the Parkinson's Foundation to learn more and register for an event in your area at movingdaywalk.org. That's movingdaywalk.org.
Game on with Bianchi and Kravitz.
I feel like I'm actually figuring out who Trevor Lawrence is.
Who is he?
We all thought he was going to be Peyton Manning coming into the NFL. And it turns out he's his brother. I think Trevor Lawrence is Eli Manning. That is exactly who this guy is. He's a turnover machine, high drafted player, pedigree coming in. Never felt like he was one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. At no point in Eli Manning's career did we ever say, all right, name the top 3 quarterbacks, and Eli Manning was on the list. And I think Trevor Lawrence will never be on that list for the rest of his career.
He's Eli Manning without the 2 Super Bowls?
But that's the point, is that Eli Manning is just good enough.
Listen to Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz weekdays starting at 3 p.m. on FM 96.9 The Game, AM 740, and streaming on the iHeartRadio app. WYGM Orlando, WJRR HD2, Cocoa Beach, Orlando, an iHeartRadio station. Guaranteed human. It's a free-for-all Friday. Let your voice be heard and see what you can get Bianchi and Kravitz all fired up about. Text us at 50857 or hit us up on the iHeartRadio Talkback. Now back to Game On.
All right, Blink 182. I don't have time for you to start this song. We got content to get to. 50857 is how you can reach us on the Mills Air text line. It's a free-for-all Friday. It's a Yingling football Friday. We've got our football picks coming up. Stone Cold Locks, Uncle Paulie's dropping by, and our Yingling six-pack all jammed within the 5 o'clock hour. You don't want to miss it. We lead up. The entire week is a build-up to the 5 o'clock hour here on Game On. On the text line at 50857, we said that you can say or text anything that you want because it's a free-for-all Friday. This one came in from Johnny. It says, Jaden Grimes has never messed up at any point I have listened to the show. He needs a raise or actually to get paid. That guy is the GOAT.
Wow.
How about that?
Thank you. That's the best Christmas gift I've got for sure.
So
but I've also messed up. I don't want to toot my horn too much. I have definitely messed up on this show.
Well, not while Johnny's listening. So credit to Jaden. He's been a phenomenal find, a diamond in the rough for us.
Absolutely. Johnny, you need to listen more.
Johnny clearly not listening enough, impacting the ratings. So we don't appreciate it. Somebody said, Bianchi, in your long career of sports talk and writing, what is the worst take that you've ever had? I know the answer to it. Can I answer it for you?
Go ahead.
Dwight Howard is going to be better than LeBron James. Oh, that was within the first few months of us working together. I'll never forget that.
I also wrote that Dan Mullen was going to take over the SEC East from Kirby Smart.
How about just any of your predictions from before the season? Bet it or forget it on the way. The world famous game show headed your direction. But first, we step to the side for 60 seconds as we get you updated with Fox Sports Radio.
No, I'm thinking of Jacob naked in the shower.
Oh, God.
Kill that.
It's Friday. It's 5 o'clock. That means it's time for the Yingling Football Friday Happy Hour with Game On 96.9 The Game. With Bianchi and Kravitz is back. Time to see if they're ready to put their money where their mouth is. Let's get into another round of Bet It or Forget It.
Top of the 5 o'clock hour, the world-famous daily segment, Bet It or Forget It, brought to you by the leader in peer-to-peer betting across the globe. It's Better Edge, and we've got a beat branding competition that's live right now. Just head to the Zone Heads group page on Facebook or my Twitter account at Brandon Kravitz. You can find the link. Enter for $4, and you will win not only your money back, but your share of the entire pot if you can beat my record against the spread, which lately has not been a difficult thing to accomplish. It's the same picks that we will submit in our Yingling six-pack. So if you're curious as to what games we'll be picking, make sure that you're listening at about 5:35 this afternoon. But that is available for you via Better Edge, our phenomenal peer-to-peer betting partners. All right, Jaden, hit the music. Let's kick things over to the Bulldog.
It is time for the wildly popular, critically acclaimed game show, Bet It or Forget It. I've got some good ones today, so let's move through these, Kravitz. Let's start with the reeling Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They get beat last night, 29-28, by the hapless Atlanta Falcons after getting beat by the hapless New Orleans Saints last week. Both those losses were at home. The team got booed off the field last night. They blew a 14-point fourth quarter lead. The Falcons had a franchise record 19 penalties and still beat the Buccaneers. The Bucs have lost 5 of 6. They're now behind in the division to the Carolina Panthers. Bet it or forget it. If the Buccaneers' downfall continues and they fail to make the playoffs, Todd Bowles will be fired at the end of the season.
Nah, forget it. Forget about it. I think he's built up enough goodwill over the last several seasons to not lose his job because the team fell apart at the end, largely due to injury. They have not been a healthy team throughout the course of the season. I don't even think they'd be in this position if they didn't deal with the injuries that they had in the middle of the year.
Aren't they healthy now?
They are now, but the reason
didn't they play last night?
They lost a game
to the Falcons.
To a division rival that played their tails off. I know that it was a meltdown by the Bucs.
The Saints?
Yeah, no, it was raining.
All right.
These things happen. Okay, you shouldn't get fired because you lost back-to-back games in division.
I'm just presenting the question.
I'm presenting a pushback, strong pushback. No, Todd Bowles is a really good coach. Leave him alone.
Bet it or forget it. Baker Mayfield has 1 year left on his contract with the Bucs. Again, if the Bucs collapse continues, the Bucs will not sign Baker Mayfield to a long-term extension after this season.
That's ridiculous. Forget it.
Forget about it.
He has been MVP levels of good when things are clicking.
27th in the league in completion
and he's
percentage.
Okay, but that's not great. I didn't know that. That's not a good stat. He is a phenomenal leader. He plays through pain. He's exactly the kind of guy you want leading your organization. I'd be hard-pressed to find better options out there than Baker Mayfield. So those are the kind of guys that get paid. This is not a Tua situation. You don't have to worry about Baker's health. You don't have to worry about him becoming a turnover machine too much. I'll make a better case for him in the offseason than I am right now on the fly, I promise. But I think he'll get paid.
The Falcons' Kyle Pitts had 11 catches for 166 yards and 3 TDs last night. He became the first tight end with 150 yards receiving and 3 TDs since Hall of Famer Shannon Sharp did it in 1996. Bet it or forget it. Kyle Pitts will be tight end 1 in fantasy football next season. He has arrived.
Forget it. Forget about it. Come on. How many times are we going to do this with Kyle Pitts? He's 5 years into his career, and now he's arrived. How many different opportunities has this guy been given to be a featured tight end with the Atlanta Falcons? This was simply due to the fact that Drake London was out. and he didn't have anybody else but somebody by the name of David Sills gobbled up a bunch of targets last night.
Got to drop the sure touchdown.
Yes, he did. Yeah, early in the game, he dropped a sure touchdown. Kyle Pitts was he had a good game last night, but that was the good fortune of not having much competition on the field.
I want to play a clip real quick from Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow earlier in the week.
If I want to keep doing this, I have to have fun doing it. I've been through a lot, and if it's not fun, then what am I doing it for? So that's the mindset I'm trying to bring to the table.
Kravitz, he doesn't sound happy. Bet it or forget it. Joe Burrow will retire from the NFL after this season at age 29, the same age as Andrew Luck was when he retired.
Forget it. Forget about it. I don't see it. This is the most overblown story of the entire week in the NFL, even more than old man Phillip Rivers coming back to town. Joe Burrow never sounds happy. What are we talking about? When have you ever listened to Joe Burrow?
He said, I've got things going on in my life. He went on. There's more to that clip. Not things going on. Yeah. Not happy.
Well, then take care of the other things in your life. You got here's something that's working for
the
you.
Bengals.
Ask for a trade then.
Yeah.
You're gonna quit football. You're good at this, And he said that he talked about wanting to have fun playing football, and then everybody took that as he's depressed and he hates the game. No, he wants to have fun. What's he gonna do? Play for the playoffs? They're not making that. So if he's not playing for fun, then what's he playing for? That and a paycheck, I guess.
The AFC's two top teams are home underdogs in Week 15. The Broncos are 2.5-point underdogs to the Packers. The Patriots are 1-point underdogs to the Bills. Bet it or forget it. This just shows that there are no dominant teams in the National Football League.
Bet it. This year is as parity-driven as we have seen in a parity-driven league. And what's amazing about that stat of those two teams being underdogs at home, 10-game winning streak for both the Patriots and the Broncos.
Right.
That has never happened in the regular season in NFL history. And it's having a team with a healthy quarterback at home as an underdog
after
winning 10 games in a row. And it's happening twice this week.
Wow.
With the Patriots and the Broncos. It's only happened one time in NFL history, but it was in the playoffs. It was the Steelers were hosting the Patriots. The Steelers had won 10 straight. I think it was in the AFC title game. They got smashed by the New England Patriots as underdogs. So if you want to use that as one bit of data as you go into this weekend.
Former Michigan football coach Sharon Moore was is it Sharon or Sharon?
I think it's Sharon.
Sharon Moore was arraigned Friday, 2 days after being fired for having an illicit affair with a female Michigan staff member. He faces 3 criminal charges. Prosecutors say Moore forced his way into the apartment of the former staff member with whom he was having a long-term affair. He broke into the apartment and allegedly grabbed kitchen knives and scissors, threatened to kill himself, saying, quote, "I'm going to kill myself. My blood is on your hands. You ruined my life," end quote. I guess she tried to end the relationship days earlier and reported him to the university after he wouldn't stop badgering her with calls and texts. Bet it or forget it. Next to Joe Paterno, Sharon Moore's downfall is the biggest fall from grace in college football history.
While active as a coach, the answer to that is probably yes. So I'll say bet it. You think of somebody like Aaron Hernandez, but he had already moved on to the NFL.
Right.
So the image of him as a college athlete, we were so far removed from that anyway. You have Urban Meyer, whose image was tainted, but he's still in the limelight.
He never lost his job in college.
Yeah, and no, this is as bad as it gets. And the guy's obviously never going to get a job again in college football, and he had one of the best jobs in the country. And then on top of it, the family aspect of it, it's as big a fall from grace as I think I've ever seen in my life.
Well, Joe Paterno, O.J. Simpson would be probably.
Well, those are pretty big.
Yeah. So, all right. I think I had one.
And since I've had my own family and I look at this stuff through a different lens, I just cannot imagine just punting your entire life so that you can hook up with an intern. It's just wild to me that this happens.
All right, last one. The Buffalo Bills play the New England Patriots in New England. We mentioned the Bills are favored. If the Bills lose this game and New England wins the division and goes on to the Super Bowl, Sean McDermott of the Bills will be on the hot seat. Get it or forget it.
Repeat that.
If the Patriots win this game, go on and win the division, go to the Super Bowl, Sean McDermott of the Bills will be on the hot seat.
Yeah, I'll say bet it. He's had as many opportunities as you could possibly be given, and none better than this year. The one thing that's been standing in the way of the Buffalo Bills during this version of their run with Josh Allen as an MVP level player has been Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs and their dynasty.
Right.
And they are off to the side for right now. Even Lamar Jackson. Okay, you got to deal with Lamar and John Harbaugh and these rough and tough Ravens. They're not good this year either. This is as clear a path as you are going to have. If it doesn't work now, then when?
Plus,
is the question I would be asking.
Mike Vrabel getting to the Super Bowl in his first year, if that happens, that would be
And you're going into a new stadium next year for the Buffalo Bills. I think it'll be a really good time to usher in a new era if they have hit that wall under Sean McDermott. Yeah. This is as clear a path as they will have during Josh Allen's entire career.
No question. And that is Bet It or Forget It.
Up next, your favorite uncle stopping by for the final time this year, plus Stone Cold Locks after this.
It's a Yingling Football Friday on Game On.
This is your Tools Ace Hardware assist of the night. Wendell Carter Jr., what you got for him?
The right-handed runner is no good. Wendell, man's rebound, made a two-handed jab, and he let out a lot of aggression with that one.
Steak and potatoes from Wendell Carter Jr. But if you're gearing up for game day, Tools Ace Hardware is your MVP for grilling greatness. From Big Green Egg to Traeger, they've got everything you need to fire up the flavor. 14 Central Florida locations, including their brand new store in downtown Windermere. Tools Ace is your neighborhood home maintenance expert, the helpful place every night and your best stop before the game. Visit toolsacehardware.com and go Magic.
Okay, fellas, let's be real.